and welcome to Amethyst Star Crafting. My name is Jane Allmark and I'm a UK independent Stampin' Up demonstrator. And today we're looking at Happy Tales. This is such a lovely stamp set for anybody who is into animals, likes animals, particularly dogs, and it's the sort of thing that really can make you feel really happy and lovely. Now it comes with a coordinating, let me just get it off the shelf without wobbling my camera. There you go. It comes with a coordinating punch, which makes things really simple and easy. Particularly if you're starting out, punches are a great way with instead of having to fussy cut things out. So I thought we would make a fun, bright, lovely card today using Happy Tales. So we need to start off with, we are looking at some of the Designer Series paper, which is the Brights collection. Now, they have collections in all of the colour families. The Brights, I think, are absolutely lovely for using with, to just add a pop of extra colour to things. So you can see they are all absolutely lovely. You've got different designs. So on this side, you've got the sort of patterns and things on there in all of the colours. And then on the other side, you have, turn it over, you've got the checks and you've also got these lovely words. So there's 4 different styles that you can choose from. The words, the checks, the sort of this would actually work quite well as sort of baubles for Christmas and things, and the sort of the diagonal checks and things, but you get a really nice good selection, and obviously they will tone with everything or go separately. You don't have to use them to coordinate things together. You can use them separately. So with that in mind, I thought I would show you the way I get the most out of this Designer Series paper. So from one sheet, I cut it in half at 3 inches, and then each one of those at 2 inches. So I get 3 by 2s, and I can get 6 out of one sheet of Designer Series paper. Then what I do is I mount them. So I've got some here which I'm going to use for other things. I mount them on an 1/8 of an inch wider. So in fact, no, I think that's 1/4 of an inch. So if it's 3 by 2, 3 by 2, you add 1/4 of an inch on. So 3 1/4 by 2 1/4, or 3 1/8 by 2 1/8, just to give a little border. And I've just done these in the Bermuda Bay, and we've got this pattern. We've got, oh yes, I've got just one sheet, so I chose these ones and I chose those ones. Now I've been using them for other things, but I just wanted to show you that's what we're using. So a piece of 3 inch by 2 inch, matted it on 1/4 of an inch wider, and that's what we're going to use as our base. So we're going to use let's use, what shall we use? Let's use one of those this time. I think will work quite nicely. So that's going to be our base part. Then I'm going to team it up, which is why I said we can team it up with other things. I'm going to team it up with the yellow, because I wanted it to be something that was quite bright. You can see I've already done one, but I am going to show you on here. Let's take the dog. Really like this dog. And we're just going to mount it onto a block. Doing lots of projects and things today, so I've got bits and pieces everywhere as always. So mount it on a block, and then we are going to use a good black ink. You can do it tone on tone if you want, but I wanted it to stand out quite well, so I'm doing it on a good black ink. And we are just going to put the image down here at the bottom, press it down firmly, and you've got your lovely dog. Okay, now we're going to, let me move all my pieces out of the way here, clean this off. And we are then going to put a little collar on him, because they have all of these little added pieces in this set, which I think makes the little add-ons and things that you have just make all the difference. So we have a little collar now. Where's the collar gone? Oh, here it is. It's up here. Sometimes you can't see things for looking, particularly if they're clear. So we're going to put the little collar on here. And again, I'm doing it in exactly the same colour, because I don't want it to detract too much from the gingham check, which is quite bright. So we are going to put this, excuse my head if it comes in, because I want to try and get this straight. You want to just put it down the base of the neck, like that, and then you've got a lovely little collar on him, which I think looks really nice. Now we are then going to, let's put these little pieces back. When you have little pieces, always put them back in the case straight away, because then you don't lose them. Okay, so we are then going to take our punch, and we're going to line this up in on the punch. It is fairly easy to do it. Just line sort of the top of the head. If you look at the top of the head and the tail, and these punches are great because if you squeeze them gently, you can see where the alignment is and you can adjust it accordingly. There we go. And then we're going to press it out. Now you see that we also get a tiny little heart. Now we're going to use that, but we're going to not use it as the heart. We're going to use it for something else. So we now have our little dog. And what I'm going to take now is the butterfly dies. Let me move this out of the way, then it won't go crunching down everywhere. So I need to take out, let me find them in here. I should have got them out already. In fact, I thought I had, but I haven't. So excuse me for rummaging around in my cases to try and find it. Oops, just knocked all my ribbons everywhere. Now I'm sure I took it out somewhere. In fact, I know I did. I've just put it out and I can't for the love nor money find out where I put it. So let me see. It always helps. Oh, here we are. It's behind the paper. I knew I'd put it out. Okay, the Butterfly Beauty Thinlits have the most lovely, tiny, weeny little butterfly. And it's this little piece here. And this little heart, we can actually put the die in over the top like that, and we're going to cut out one little tiny butterfly. So excuse me while I go across to my die cutting machine, because that's the easiest way to do it. And I'm just going to run it through quickly. And this is where my motto of waste not, want not comes in. So I've always said waste not, want not. So it's a heart, but I didn't want a heart. I wanted it to have a little tiny butterfly. So you can take your pick, and we are just going to take this little butterfly out like that. So you can see you haven't wasted anything from there. You've got this tiny weeny little butterfly, which is what we are going to use. So let me put this out of the way, clear a little bit of a space. Okay, so we have, let's take that there. We have our card piece, and we are going to put the dog on with some dimensionals. So I can take some of the standard size in on the middle and the bottom. Then I'm going to take some minis out. This is why our dimensionals are so good, because having two sizes, it means that you can use them for the different parts, because I want to have one down where his front feet are. I'm going to put a little one down in the middle on here. I'm going to put another one down on the nose. Now, because we're putting this sort of flat, I want it to stand well. Now this little tiny piece in the tail, we're just going to cut a little strip off the side, just enough to just go on the tail, to just ensure that it doesn't droop down. We don't want a droopy dog's tail. So I'm just going to take this little piece off. And this is what's great about these dimensionals, because you can use absolutely every part and they work so well. So we're just going to put this down here on the tail, so we've got that on nicely. And then we're going to take these off. I like these dimensionals as well because they come off easily. How many times do you struggle trying to get the tops off of dimensionals, whereas these literally just come straight off. Okay, so we're going to put the little dog down in just so that he's sort of sitting there like that. And then this little tiny butterfly, I want to put a tiny little piece of dimensional. So again, you can cut the tiniest little piece. It really only needs to be a tiny piece, but our dimensionals do stick so well that you can do that. Now this is like trying to do something with the tiniest, weeniest little bit. So let me just see that I can get it in the center like that. There we go. And then we're going to put the little butterfly just on the tip of his nose, because I thought that that was quite sweet. I had a dog once that my little dog now doesn't do it, but I had a dog, a black Labrador, who I absolutely adored, and I used to be able to balance a biscuit on his nose, and he'd sit and wait until I said he could have it, and that was his little party trick. Okay, so we've now got this lovely panel there. Now we are then going to take a standard card base, and then I'm taking a piece of this lovely Daffodil Delight check, and we're going to put that in the center. So that's going to be our mat. Then we're taking a piece of white cardstock, which is going to come in the center. So each one of these is 1/4 of an inch smaller. So this one is 5.5 by 3 3/4, 5 1/4 by 3 1/2. And what I've done is I've stamped there's some lovely sayings in this set. You have got just for you, which I think covers people that aren't really that like dogs but aren't, you know, enthusiastic. Friends forever is lovely. A best friend leaves a paw print on your heart, and a little paw print on there. Sorry for your loss. You know, when you lose a pet, it breaks your heart. I've had dogs all my life, and unfortunately we live a lot longer than our dogs, so this is a lovely one. And then keep calm and wag on. I think that's quite fun as well. But this one just worked because I wanted it something that was flat at the bottom, so I've just stamped that on there. And then we can put the little dog in on here like that, and you've got the other pattern. Now I would have put, let me see if I think it's on the other side actually. Yes, so I would put it this way round, so I'm matching up the pattern one side to the other. So this is that one matched with the pattern like that, so that gives you a one feel. And then I did the other one, which is exactly the same, but I did it the other way round. So if we take the check and put the check down that direction, and put this one on top, and this is one that I did with the check on it. So you can see it's a lovely bright card You can do it either way round because the pattern paper works both ways, and you can have, as I say, 2 different styles of dogs. Make a whole series of them ready to send to people. But again, by using this that little template, you get 6 out of that one piece of designer series paper, which is 6 by 6. So hope you enjoyed the card today. Hope you thought it was a fun one. Look forward to seeing you again. Bye bye.